Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Mr. Randall. I hope everyone's staying safe and staying clean during all this. I um I know that this is going to be different for a lot of you guys. This is going to kind of be the new normal. Mr. Smith and I have been trying to work out what it's going to look like. So a lot of the learning right now is going to be remotely. So just remember, Mr. Smith and I, we're here to help you. But also, a lot of this will be a new experience for you guys, a new experience for us. But also, we need your cooperation with it. It's going to be it's going to be a new experience for you guys, kind of putting it in your own hands to come and learn this content that we're putting out. So, without further ado, we continue math class. We're starting our unit on statistics. And really what we're going to talk about is mean, median, mode, range, and interquartile range. If you know what these are and you know how to do them, good. If you have a good idea of what they are, that's good as well. But also, if you look at that and you're kind of lost, don't worry, we're all new learners here, and we'll learn this together and help everyone out. So, looking at today, we're going to talk about what is a statistic, or what are statistics. And if we look at this, we're going to be talking about statistical means today. And then your assignment is going to be a quizzes. All you're going to have to do is go to quizzes.com, put in this code, and you'll be there. I'll show you guys later, but for right now, that's just what we're going to be talking about. So, what are statistics? Really, if we look at statistics, you could create number values and collect data on almost everything. But what we have to do is figure out how we organize it. We need to organize it somehow, and then we also, if you look at a set of a million numbers, you're not going to learn anything. So what we need to do is we need to organize it, and then also make sense of that data that we have. Somehow we need to whittle it down to one number that speaks to something going on in that set. So for example, a batting average. What is the likelihood of you getting a base hit? Average rainfall is also important if we look at our climate nowadays. We need to see, on average, how much water is coming down to a certain area. Also, what you watch on YouTube and Netflix. The people that create the content for Netflix and YouTube need to know what's popular, what's not popular, so they can cancel the shows maybe that aren't popular, don't spend the money on it, and keep doing what is successful. A good way of doing that is seeing how many people have watched this show, or the average length that someone will watch a video and then leave. They need to see that. So, what they're doing is they're collecting data, they're organizing it, and then making sense of it. So, oopsies. One way that we can do that is called a mean. Ooh, wrong one. Mean. And without going any further, what we're going to be looking at are something called data sets. And all that a data set is just a group of numbers. So right here, that would be an example of a data set, because group of numbers. And if we go back to what a mean is just the average. So if you know what the average is, if you know what the word average means, you have a really good idea of what a mean is. So what we're looking at here is if every number in the set could have the same value. Look at 1. Oh, man, I changed my pen size. So, 1 isn't really a good representation of this set because it's the smallest number. Same with 5, but it's the biggest. So we need to have some number here that can represent the set as the average number in the set. So what we do is if every value could in the set could have the same value, what we can do then is just take these dots that are represented from that set down here and take them all out and just move them to the side here, right? Because what we're doing is we're taking them, bringing them all together, or what operation do you think we'd have to use in this situation? So I'm going to ask you, how many are here in this circle? Well, you add all those up, and you get 15. So, now what we have to do is put it back into the groups that we had down here. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to take them and divide them evenly into these groups. Maybe I gave that away to you, but what operation are we using here? Really what we're doing is we are dividing after we did what operation? Addition. So, looking at this, how many blue dots are in a single group? Well, look at it, it's 3. So 3 would be our mean. A good way of remembering what a mean is it is mean of Mr. Randall to expect me to add all these numbers up and divide them. Just because sometimes it's not the idea of doing this that can be confusing. What can be confusing is that when you add up a set that could be maybe 20 numbers with 20 numbers in it, all of a sudden there's a lot of room to just make a error in adding stuff up, or you miscount and you divide by 19 instead of 20. So it's all just needing to be patient and working through this, where it might be mean of me to expect you to do that, but just be patient, work through it slowly, know what you're doing. Okay? So let's look at this. Mr. Randall scored the following on his math test. Got a 98, 87, 72, 193. So, what would be the mean of this? What we have to do is add all these up. So, add them all up. And one important thing, especially with this remote learning, is you're going to have your calculator. You need to have a calculator right next to you. You have your Chromebook, so you can always use that as well. So if we add all these up, what are we going to get? Well, we add it all up, we're going to get 450. 450. But that's not it. We just put these all into a group. We need to now divide it by how many numbers are in the set. And we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers in the set. So we divide that by 5. What do we get? We get 90. And in college, that is an A. So good for me. Good for me. Got an A. Also, one thing, though, is, and we're going to look at this later when we look at a median. What if, for example, we had a 6th test, but I didn't take the test. I just didn't show up. Never took the test, and I got a 0 as a result. Well, now what happens is this is still going to all add up to 450 because we didn't add any points that I got. But now we're dividing it by 6 instead. So if we take that, divide it by 6, we will get 75, which is a C in college. So maybe this is a way of helping you see this, that this one grade right here can drastically change your grade just because you got a 0 on one thing. Do we see how I dropped 2 letter grades because of one test? That's just how it is. And this is also how a mean works. We'll look at an example like this later with a median and see how they are different. But for right now, how we do a mean is we add them all up and divide by the number in the set. So, looking at this example, forgot to erase. Oh, no, I had 32.5, 195 divided by 7. And we would get 32.5. So, find the mistake here for me. Give you guys a second. I'll let you pause, and then I'll show you. Okay, so hopefully you found the mistake here. Well, let's go through it step by step. So looking at the first part, we have to take all these numbers, add them all up. Maybe that's where I made the mistake, but we have to add it up so it looks like it did it right. If we put that into a calculator, we would get 195. Ooh. 195. So, that's correct. But, if we look here, I would have had to have made a mistake dividing them. So if I took 195 and divided it by 6, I would get what? Well, I would get 32.5. So I divided by 6 here, actually. When I should have done 195 divided by 7, which would give me what? $195 divided by 7 would give me 27.85. Actually, I made a mistake here. This would be a 6 if I'm rounding to the 100th spot. So that right here, 27.86 should be your answer. Okay. Now, I have one more example for you guys. I want you to work through this and tell me the answer. Work through the answer first, and then we will work through it as a group. Found a little mistake here. Perfect time to fix it while we let you work. Okay, so let's do the problem here. So what we need to do is we need to take all these numbers in the set and add them up. So let's add them all up. And we would get what? And this is equal to, let's type it into our calculator. Well, we're going to get 180 if we add all this up. So now we have 180, and we then have to divide that 180 divided by something, which would be how many numbers are in the set. And we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We divide that by 6. We would get 30. Okay. So for the average wait time in an ER, we would get 30 minutes. That's pretty important if we look at how long you're waiting in the emergency room. So statistics are important because we need to collect data on our daily lives. Somehow we need to make sense of it. And again, a good way of making sense of all this is a mean, which is kind of the average. What we do right here. Guys, if there's anything you take away from this video, is what I have, you got a circle and star, highlight, underline, anything right here. So add all the numbers up, then divide by how many numbers are there. So you want to see how many numbers are in the set. Right here we have 5. Right here we had 7. Okay, so we take them, add them all up, and then divide by how many numbers are in the set, and that will be your mean. Tomorrow we will start looking at what a median is and compare that to a mean. So otherwise, make sure we do the quizzes. And the way that we want to do that quizzes is, so we'll go to quizzes.com, and it looks like this. Quizzes.com, and then join a game. We go to join a game, type in that code, and it was 948511. We join it. I've already started this game just to make sure it all worked. But again, we go to quizzes.com. Your board might look a little different just because I'm on teacher mode. But we again go here, and I'll hit resume game. It'll go 3, 2, 1, go. What's another word for average? We've known that. Let's go mean. Sometimes there are little memes between it, yeah. Okay, and then we keep going. Calculate the mean, we know how to do that. So, other than that, that's pretty straightforward on what I need you guys to do. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll make sure to talk